Yo, what's up guys? Today we are back on Pokemon Showdown for a standard hardcore OU live with your boy PokeaimMD, just myself. No friends, no Hita Fajita, no Subhub, no UCL, no Battle Factory. Nope, this is a standard OU hardcore live that I know actually a lot of you guys love. And sorry, as I just adjust my headset, it was falling off my head as I'm spinning in my chair. But yeah, it's actually been a little while since I've done a hardcore OU live. Unfortunately, the ladder has reset due to OLT starting. OLT, I believe, Small OLT, the official ladder tour, which I would not be participating in. And oh, who knows? I might change my mind weeks later from now, but as of right now, I will not be participating in it. But we're going to be laddering up with a team that my boy Squirrel on Smolon made. It's a Kyurem Black team called Godzilla. A really fun team. In his RMT, he actually said, lead off with Kyurem 10 out of 10 times just because it prevents Stealth Rock, and that is exactly what I'm proceed to do. So I've only played one game on this account. It looks like I can win. Kyurem just gets a kill as I lead off with it, like it actually gets a kill. SD Scizor can actually put in a lot of work versus my opponent's team if I can get rid of Rotom. He leads off with his Hydreigon though as a threat. I'm going to switch out into my Scizor, expecting a Draco. If he wants the Fire Blast or U-turn, predicting that, that's fine too. Ends up going for U-turn, more than likely a Choice Scarf Hydreigon. That's good to know because my bulk up Talonflame can definitely set up on that. I'm expecting Rotom to come out right here as he actually ends up going out to Gator. I'm just going to Mega Evolve and U-turn as I can get off a decent amount of damage as he chooses to go right for the Dragon Dance, which I do not mind. I do have my Endure Garchomp, which can just come in. I'm going to click Endure as I am expecting him to go for Ice Punch. And what this will do is it forces him to pretty much die. Because if he wants to go for Ice Punch, I will be able to survive due to Endure. He cannot freeze me due to sheer force. I know, guys, I was talking about... Hello? Why would he Dragon... In what world would you Dragon Dance twice? I'm gonna go for my Stealth Rock right here as he actually has Crunch. Okay, that makes sense as I am able to get up my rocks, and I don't know why he would endure as I don't know why he would go for the Dragon Dance, but I'm able to survive that due to my Endure, and I can just go for Dragon Tail just in case he wants to switch out Dragon Dance again for some reason. Either way, I'm sacking my Garchomp for that Pokemon, and I'm keeping my Stealth Rock up as my opponent might go out to Empoleon because I don't have a really good switch into that. But I'm actually gonna go out to my Kyurem Black because it keeps out Gliscor, it smacks Rotom, it can smack Empoleon for the 2-hit KO, and it forces his Hydreigon to go for Draco. Well, he's not necessarily forced. I feel like Manaphy is the most expendable member on my team, so I'm actually gonna sack that. Simply because if he wants to Fire Blast as well, my Kyurem Black can win this game, so there's no point in sacking it. Manaphy is worth it. He actually goes for U-turn one more time, though I guess he's predicting me, sort of. I don't see it that way because he's taking Stealth Rock damage, so I'm actually going to go out to my Scizor expecting him to Protect. If he wants to U-turn right off the bat, that is fine too. Protect is generally the best play, and Mega Beedrill cannot touch Mega Scizor, so we're just going to trade U-turns right here. I'm expecting that's a crit U-turn from an adaptability Mega Beedrill, so going to be able to get off a U-turn on the incoming Gliscor. And what I can do is just, I could go out into Kyurem and predict his Empoleon by going for Earth Power. I'm pretty sure it'll be a 2-hit KO. I can go out into Manaphy and just threaten him straight out, go for Tail Glow, expecting his Empoleon. Either way, I think Kyurem is the better play just because Kyurem can get a kill. I don't even think I have to predict his Empoleon simply because there's no point, because I'm pretty sure, sorry about if you hear my mic clicking, my mouse clicking, by the way, there's nothing I can do about that, but there's no point in predicting his Empoleon because I'm pretty sure Ice Beam plus Earth Power will almost 2-hit KO him anyway, and it's not like Empoleon does anything to me, so down goes his Gliscor. I wonder if he's going to go out to Hydreigon for the umpteenth time and go for U-turn. Empoleon is fine here if he wants to Defog, unless he has... Empoleon is more likely his Rocker and his Defogger. One or the other. Unless he's Flash Cannon, my Kyurem Black is not threatening at all. Even a Toxic I wouldn't really worry about too much just because my Kyurem is not really staying inside too much. So he goes Imp, and because I can deal with Rotom due to my Manaphy having Energy Ball as well as my Latias dropping Dracos on it, I can just go for Earth Power right here safely. That is a crit, so it seems he has Assault Vest. I am not sure. Yeah, that's definitely Assault Vest. And Earth Power hits everything because of Terravolt. Even his Levitating Hydreigon will not be able to take this Earth Power, as he does not know that on his own. So I'm going to be able to hit that thing with Earth Power, as like I said, the most expendable member on my team is Manaphy. I can still keep Kyurem because it like smacks his Rotom. So I'm just going to fire off an Ice Beam right here. No reason to predict the Rotom because I can hit it in the following turn with the Energy Ball. As a Beedrill is going to come out, I'm going to sack this thing to the Poison Jab as he goes for knockoff. Like I said, I didn't care too much about my Manaphy this game, simply because I don't have to predict in order to be in a good position versus my opponent's team. I feel like I already win with Kyurem Black at this point, or even my Mega Scizor. Even my Lottie just drops Dracos, and his Hydreigon is so weak, and I don't even think Empoleon, after Stealth Rock damage, can defog on me to get rid of the rocks. So I will either be able to get off an Energy Ball versus Empoleon, or versus his Rotom, or force his Hydreigon in, and he'll probably go for Dark Pulse to finish me off. And at that point, I can go out into my Talonflame and just do some work versus my opponent's team. I don't know what he's thinking about. Maybe he's debating going out to Rotom. That would be cool though, because I could just hit that thing with an Energy Ball, and then I can just spam Earth Power to win the game. Honestly, I feel like the game is over at this point. I think my opponent has a cool team. I really do. I'm not too like convinced on the triple water. Don't get me wrong though, I've ran like 3 water Pokemon on the same team. I've ran 4 water Pokemon on the same team. What are you waiting for? I've ran 6 water Pokemon on the same team. What are you waiting for? Black and White. Shout outs to PK. But that was back when Rain was up, and even though Empoleon is definitely his main switching to a Dragon type, I'm trying to dissect this team, by the way. I'm not trying to stall for time. If I wanted to, I could just say I'm going to pause until I pick a move. We'll be right back. But I love that, saying my thought process, and I hope you guys enjoy hearing it. But even if Empoleon is switching, I think he needs a defogger because of Beedrill and Hydreigon and all of them. Beedrill specifically hates taking Stealth Rock. He does not have a good answer to Ferrothorn, even though he has Superpower on his Gator. It doesn't make much of a difference, but goes out into his Hydreigon. I'm just going to click Scald in case he tries to U-turn again as he goes for the Dark Pulse. And I can go right out into my Talonflame. My Talonflame can actually beat his Rotom 1v1. I'm actually going to go for Will-O-Wisp just in case he wants to switch up to Rotom. That's a crit Dark Pulse. I could easily have gone for the Brave Bird right there, but it doesn't really matter because I will be able to Roost off anyway, and though I will be taking a bit more just because I made that series of plays as opposed to going right for Brave Bird to pick him off, it's going to be in my favor anyway. I don't think I can lose at this point. Rotom's going to come in, and like I said, my Kyurem just wins at this point. So he goes on to Empoleon. Because he is in Torrent, I'm just going to Brave Bird. That way he can no longer switch into Stealth Rock, though I guess technically he could. But not even a Torrent boosted Skull will be able to knock me out unless he's Defiant, as I can knock him out with the next Brave Bird. If he wants to switch to Rotom, that'd be fine. I could burn it. Like I said, my Kyurem Black already wins at this point by spamming Earth Power, and my Lottie can drop a Draco. Honestly, I can decide how I want to win this game at this point, but gonna hit him with a Will-O-Wisp, as he is gonna go for Discharge. Interesting. And I will be able to go right on to my Latios, and I believe I'm gonna end this game off by dropping a Draco. Even if he does survive, Burn will take him out. I do not mind, and I can even Healing Wish back up my Kyurem if I want to. So we're gonna drop a Draco on this Rotom for game, and I believe that is gonna be a good game, unless Rotom. Holy crap, that did nothing. That's a life for Draco Max, but death. Good lord. I don't want him Healing Wishing up, so I mean, I don't even think he could survive another Draco on his 2. That'd probably be a roll. I'd definitely knock him out. But you know what? My Latias, my girl Latias is always a team player, so I think we're gonna heal up my Kyurem, and I think Kyurem is gonna come back in and just click Ice Beam just to finish him off. Honestly, let me show some disrespect to this water type by clicking Ice Beam to finish him off, and that is gonna be good game. So good game, dude. I'm going to pause it, guys, until we find another battle, and we will be right back. And we have found another battle. Now my opponent has a threatening team. Honestly, he's pretty weak to my Talonflame, especially because his Aerodactyl is more than likely a Stealth Rock. Excuse me about like choking. Aerodactyl's probably a Stealth Rock lead. Garchomp puts in a lot of work versus team, especially with Healing Wish, Latias in the back. I think I'm going to go for the bulk up Talonflame sweep, and Kyurem can just smack everything. But I'm going to lead off a Garchomp just in case he wants to lead off Aerodactyl. I can Dragon Tail it out. If he wants to taunt me, that is fine. Not sure if he will go for taunt, but I'm going to go for Dragon Tail. I can get up Stealth Rock versus a good majority of my opponent's team, so if he wants to taunt me right here, that's fine. As I break his Sash with the Dragon Tail, as Metagross comes out, and you know what? We're going to break this Air Balloon too. Actually, no. My smarter play is going directly into Scizor, because if he wants to double back out into Aerodactyl, that'll be fine. And plus, I can eat up any hit he wants to go for, and just go for U-turn. U-turn will pop his balloon if he does choose to stay in. That Earthquake does literally 0. As I'm gonna go right back out into my Garchomp. I can definitely take this Meteor Mash. It's gonna do more to him than it probably will to me, and I can get up my Stealth Rock on top of that. He does not have a Defog on his team, and he's packing Talonflame as well as Gyarados. So these Stealth Rock are definitely nice versus my opponent's team. Now keep in mind, like I said, I am on the lower ladder, but I am on the lower ladder, but that doesn't mean that I'm not gonna try in these games. You never know. And plus, Duquesne 07. This is actually an old friend of mine. I don't know if this is actually him, but he says 07, so I guess this might have been one of his first teams, and he just added a Talonflame, because obviously Talonflame is not 2007. But I'm going to switch out to my Scizor, because he's definitely going to go for Stealth Rock right here, and I can safely go for the Bullet Punch. Even if he wants to switch out into Gyarados or Talonflame to take it, they will be taking Stealth Rock as well. So I'm just going to click my BP as he goes out into Gyarados. Now, I don't know what type of Gyarados this honestly is. It is a Leftovers variant, so Manaphy can take it on because he more than likely has Bounce. Kyurem can also take him on. But I'm actually going to go out to my Garchomp just because I don't expect him to have Ice Fang. If he has Leftovers, he shouldn't have Ice Fang. But he goes for Sub. Sub DD definitely usually runs Bounce as well as Dragon Dance Waterfall, unless he's Sub 3 attacks. But he goes for the Bounce. He's just going to be doing more damage to himself than he's going to be doing to me, honestly. And that's also assuming he's hit. I'm max defense, max HP. That did 0. Look how much he actually did take more than I did. As unfortunately, I missed the Dragon Tail right there. It kind of sucks because now he can Dragon Dance and do a little bit more damage, but at the same time, it's not too big of a deal. As long as I keep my, or he can go for Waterfall. If he wants to try and kill me, that's fine. I'm trying to kill him, so thankfully I do connect right now. As I don't really mind my Garchomp taking too much damage because I can Healing Wish it back up later with my Lottie versus his Machamp on a predicted switch out, because I don't want Talonflame to be an issue. But he's going to hit me with the Waterfall, killing his Gyarados, as I'm expecting him to go out to Sceptile right here. In all honesty, Sceptile's actually looking a little bit threatening, just a little bit. But I do have Scizor as well as my Talonflame in the back, and actually Talonflame destroys his team at this point. Aerodactyl is low enough to the point where Brave Bird knocks him out. Sceptile is going to come out. Time to think about what is the least expendable. Unfortunately, I don't think Kyurem Black honestly does anything, and I want to save Garchomp for his Talonflame. I also want to be able to Healing Wish back up later, so I'm going to sack my Kyurem to the Focus Blast. I think he predicted my Scizor right there. Cool play, as I can go right on to my Talonflame and just click Brave Bird. In all honesty, I don't see what his switching is. I mean, it's probably going to be Aerodactyl. I could Roost right here, but I don't see the point because Brave Bird 2-hit KOs Aerodactyl regardless. It also OHKOs Sceptile, and there's no point in roosting when I'm going to be threatened out by the Aerodactyl anyway, so I'll just come in at the exact same HP as, again, I'm just going to go right for the Brave Bird in the following turn. And because he's at 4% and Leftovers does give me 6%, I'm pretty sure even after recoil I will be over 50%, meaning that I will be able to survive. Yep. Meaning that I will be able to survive one more Stealth Rock switching regardless of me potentially defogging or not. And if he goes Metagross, I can burn that thing. Goes out to his own Talonflame. This is an issue. I'm actually just going to sack my Garchomp right here because even if he SD is predicting my switch, I could force him to take damage. I could force him to take... Oh my... He died! Help! That's so funny. Why is that so funny? Holy crap. I'm going to go out to my Lottie because I want to defog the Stealth Rock away as he goes out to Metagross. Perfect. I can get rid of these rocks, which are definitely threatening my Talonflame, which kind of just wins the game at this point. So I can also potentially Healing Wish my... Talonflame in the process, depending on if this Meteor Mash knocks me out, which he does not. So I can go for Healing Wish right now. Also, the fact that he cannot go, I hope he doesn't have a double rock on his team, but also the fact that he cannot get the potential boost with Meteor Mash is nice, as I go out to my Talonflame, and I believe I can just go right for the Will-O-Wisp and then follow it up with a Bulk Up and completely sweep my opponent's team. He does not have anything that really wants to come in on this Pokemon. He could go out to Machamp predicting Flare Blitz, but there's no point. So I do connect with my Will-O-Wisp. At this point, I can just click Bulk Up, and I believe Talonflame just wins the game 130%. I obviously want to be a little bit smart about Machamp, so I definitely want to get it to +2 before I start hitting his Machamp, because I don't want to not OHKO it, then it knocks me out with Stone Edge and I potentially lose to his Sceptile. That would suck. Of course, the only way he could actually knock out my Manaphy would be if he had Leaf Storm, and if he had Leaf Storm, that means my Scizor can beat him. So +2 Brave Bird should definitely knock him out, even with no attack investment. This is +2, so my opponent is going to choose to disconnect. So let's actually look for another game, as we have gotten one right away. This looks like a Jambad team, because I had a Chestnut. Jambad hates Chestnut. Jambad loves Chestnut. Blunter hates Chestnut. Don't know why. But I'm actually going to lead off with my Kyurem, because it can bop a lot of his team. So as he leads off with Jirachi, unfortunately this could be a Stealth Rocker. I'm going to go directly into my Garchomp, because if he wants to go for U-turn or even Iron Head, that is fine, as he goes for his Stealth Rock. We're going to exchange rocks right here, as he can go out into Kyurem if he honestly wants to. I don't want to pull my double into my... as he can go out... Huh? Okay, do more to yourself, bro. He probably has Icy Wind on this thing. But I'm just going to go for Stealth Rock anyway. I can survive an Icy Wind regardless. Look how much he's doing to himself. And also look at his Talonflame switchings after a Bulk Up. I don't mind him weakening his own Jirachi. I don't care if he has Icy Wind. I'm just going to get up my rocks right here. He does not have a Defogger. Very interesting. He depends on my Defog, which makes sense because he does have Spikes as well as Stealth Rock. As Crawdon is going to come out. This is not the counter, friend. So I'm just going to go for Earthquake, as... Crawdon will be killing itself as it goes for Crab Hammer. That does nothing. Is that Choice Band? Oh yeah, that's not Choice Band. Okay. But I'm gonna go for another Earthquake. If he wants to go for Aqua Jet, he'll kill himself in this turn. And Crawdon is gone, and that is a threat sort of to my Talonflame. Not really sure why he's not going Chestnut at this point. You can definitely go Chestnut. If he goes on to Magnezone, I can switch directly into my Lottie. I can also switch on to my Scizor. As weird of a play as that looks, but Scizor honestly does nothing versus my opponent's team. I guess an SD variant could definitely threaten the Charizard after the boost. Now this is a kind of scary situation. I'm actually just going to go for Dragon Tail. If he's Mega Charizard Y, okay, I handle him. I'm going to go for Dragon Tail because... wow, he actually is Mega Charizard Y, as I am able to force him out with that, and I'm definitely not defogging. I'm definitely not defogging now because I want him to die. So just gonna go for Earthquake on this Tyranitar, as he is Mega Tar and he's a regular Charizard. That's pretty cool. As he goes for Rock Slide, that's able to knock me out. Very, very interesting. I can go out to my Manaphy right now and just click Scald. I didn't want to go out to Scizor because I didn't want to risk a fire move. Also, Manaphy's pretty nice. He has a regular Charizard. I've actually been thinking about using a regular Charizard, guys, in Hito Fajita. I'm not even lying. I've been thinking about using a regular Charizard and putting the Gardevoir on the team, as well as a T-Tar, and then make T-Tar be the Mega, make Gardevoir Scarf, make Charizard Specs. Who knows? Who knows, though? But that's some spoilers for some future Hito Fajita episodes. But I'm going to click Scald right now because it's one of the best moves in the entire game. Scald is one of the best competitive moves in the entire game, like by far. It is one of the best moves, and it can knock out T-Tar, it can burn Jirachi, it can burn Chestnut, it can burn Magnezone, and he honestly is really in trouble at this point. I don't think he can win. I'm not trying to say I won already, but I don't think he can win at this point, especially because he just really can't do much to me. That Scald did 21%. Pretty sure Ice Beam can knock him out or go really close to it. Oh wow, so yeah, gets really close to knocking him out as he goes for Drain Punch. That doesn't matter, he will not be recovering enough, and I can actually knock him out with the Scald in the following turn, unless he's Custap Berry, Chestnut bops me with a Wood Hammer. So he decides to go for Protect, not the Spiky Shield. All that does is give me leftovers, more leftovers in the following turn, because Sandstorm is going to end, and like I said, I can just click Scald in the following turn. Chestnut is going to go down. I really didn't care about Chestnut going for Wood Hammer, simply because it wouldn't have made a difference towards what I would have done. So it would hit the Jirachi with Scald upon switching. That does absolutely nothing, as I do get the burn type of Jirachi is this? How did a crit Scald? He's not Assault Vest because he set up Stealth Rock. Either way, I'm able to knock him out with the next Scald after that crit. Really, what type of Jirachi was that? He can't even Healing Wish or do anything, as he could probably go Magna Zone if he wants to. I'm just going to stand and click Scald regardless. I don't need Manaphy anymore. It did more than I expected it to do this entire game. And I love Endure Chomp. I love Rocky Helmet Defensive Chomp. Though this is one of those teams where this is my go-to switching for everything. Though I do have Scizor in the back to also check the Pokemon that Garchomp checks, being Lopunny, and I guess a Bisharp potentially, and MSD U-turn, more so Lopunny, as well as Talonflame checking Lopunny. So I really like this team that Baby's built. I don't know why he sacked his Charizard right there. Typically, pro tip, guys. If you are playing a game and a Pokemon dies to Stealth Rock, you don't have any way. Why does he Spiky Shield and Protect? Bro, they do not stack. I'm going to let you guys know also they do not stack. It's the same chance to get both of them in a row. But all he did was let me get back to almost full. If you have a Pokemon, like I was saying, if you have a Pokemon that's going to go down to Stealth Rock, save it for a free switch. Let's say I had Talonflame out. It's a big threat to your team. Sack that Charizard on that turn to get the free switch into Magna Zone, etc., which is actually the Pokemon he should bring out. Don't know why my opponent is not bringing out Magna Zone at this point, as T-Tar is going to come out, and I can just... Let me just Tail Glow. Forget this. I don't care. I'm just gonna Tail Glow. I have Scizor's BP to check this T-Tar just in case it decides to Dragon Dance up, and I want to speed up this game, so I'll go for Tail Glow. That way I can knock out the Magna Zone. After that, as he goes for Crunch, that actually does a nice amount of damage. Mega T-Tar is pretty cool. You don't see it as much in ORAS as you did in X and Y, simply because of all the speed tiers that we have now. We have freaking Mega Beedrill. We have that outspeeds a +1 Megatar, if I'm not mistaken. 265. I don't feel like doing that. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it does outspeed it. We have Mega Lopunny. We have Mega Sceptile. All those Pokemon just stopping Megatar from being the big threat that it used to be. But this Assault Vest Magna Zone bops me with a Thunder, as I'm just gonna go right out to Godzilla and click Earth Power and knock out. You know what? You're gonna get the kill with Ice Beam. I'm pretty sure Ice Beam will knock him out, even though that Scald did nothing. But then again, this is a Life Orb, max special attack, pokeaimMD. So we're actually gonna look for another game, as I believe, yeah, that's gonna go down. And we have a really nice team by my opponent. Ooh, looking really scary. It's looking like my Talonflame just straight up sweeps him though. So I'm going to lead off with Kyurem because I want to prevent him from getting Brox. Because he does have Landers as well as Clefable, I want to say that Clefable or Jirachi are Stealth Rockers. But at the same time, it could be Landers because he's really weak to Talonflame, so I could see it being defensive. So I'm going to lead off with Kyurem because it prevents him from getting up rocks from the Landers, as my Terravolt does go before his Intimidate, so I am definitely faster. So just gonna click Ice Beam. I don't care if he goes out to Jirachi. I could predict that, but you know, there's always that chance to freeze. There's also that chance that he doesn't see that my ability goes first, and down goes his Landers. So I'm able to knock out his Landers turn 1. Obviously, me seeing Terravolt going, but that's not gonna knock me out, huh? So also Superior goes down to the Ice Beam. Yeah, Superior is so weak, guys. It needs a boost. It needs a +2 plus a Life Orb roll. It needs a roll in order to knock out Latias with +2 Dragon Pulse. So it's definitely not a strong mon. And also my Scizor can win at this point. I'm gonna click Roost just in case he's defensive Starmie, because if he is, he cannot knock me out, as he is able to knock me out with the Ice Beam. And I'm gonna be able to go out into my Manaphy and just click Energy Ball. I don't mind what he goes out into, as he Grass Knot is typically not a good option on Starmie, simply because the Pokemon that a grass move would be hitting would be Manaphy as well as Rotom, which take nothing because they're very light, and my opponent gets shredded by Godzilla. But we got another game, and again, I'm going to lead off with my Kyurem just to prevent Stealth Rocket. Also, it's just a good lead matchup versus the majority of his team. If he wants to lead off with Scizor, I can HP Fire. If he wants to lead off with Tornadus, I can Ice Beam. Manaphy is kind of scared out and also does not threaten me. I can Ice Beam Gengar, though I do have Spadef Talonflame in order to deal with Gengar, as well as a Scizor. SD Scizor is the Pokemon that's looking like sweeps this game. Bulk Up Talonflame can also win as long as I burn Landers and burn T-Tar. So there's two Pokemon that I can definitely win this game with, and a bunch of games this time. Definitely because we're lower on the ladder, but leads off with his Tornadus, as I'm able to lead off with my Kyurem, and I'm just going to click Ice Beam at this point. I do not care about a Life Orb Superpower or a Life Orb Focus Blast. It won't be able to knock me out. Goes for U-Turn. He is Life Orb, which is good to know. That's severely weak, or that doesn't take hits as well as, that I should say, that doesn't take hits as well as any other variant would, as I freeze his T-Tar. Very unfortunate for my opponent. He was a defensive T-Tar, and I'm going to take full advantage, so I'm going to switch directly into my Manaphy. Or I could Earth Power right here. Yeah, let's try and take advantage of it. He's probably going to thaw anyway. Nope, he does not thaw, as I can knock him out with the next Earth Power. So what I'm actually going to do is go for Ice Beam, expecting him to want to switch out. Fearing the Earth Powers, he actually switches out into Landorus T. That worked out way better than I expected, as Landorus is going to go down. That was definitely a threat. That was a threat for my Talonflame, and of course, the Godzilla just stopping my opponents from playing games. So we got another game, and Godzilla just... I'm calling it Godzilla because of babies, but it honestly just solos my opponent's team. Holy crap. I'm going to click Ice Beam because if he's fearing the Fusion Bolt, he's going to go out into his Ferrothorn, as this is a max special attack Life Orb Ice Beam that does so much to his Ferrothorn. Holy crap. As I can go directly into my Garchomp as he goes for Gyro Ball, and he's going to take even more damage this turn. So that's beautiful for me, as we're just going to exchange rocks right here, I'm pretty sure. As he goes for Leech Seed, even better, simply because I can actually go out into my Talonflame right now before his rocks and burn him, as I am expecting him to go for those Stealth Rock, and I can burn either his Zapdos or his Kabutops upon switching, or even his Politoed, as he does choose to bring out that Zapdos, which is looking like a Defogger. Of course, does not have to be a Defogger. It looks offensive, actually. So I'm going to go out into my Latias right here, as I do not want to lose my Talonflame. Unfortunately, my ground type is Garchomp, so I don't want to risk switching it in on a Volt Switch, as he goes for Thunder. Gets the Paralysis. Not too big of a deal. I don't think it's not that big of a deal. I'm actually going to go for Defog right here, as he chooses to go for Hidden Power Ice. And Burn plus Life Orb is doing a lot to my opponent. So, I believe I can just drop a Draco at this point, just in case he wants to Roost. If I get paralyzed, it's a little bit annoying, but it doesn't really matter because Kyurem can just come in and click Ice Beam anyway, versus my opponent. And Zapdos is already really low. It's also offensive, so I'm trying to sweep with my Talonflame, but also Manaphy can wreck my opponent's team, especially with the fact that Ferrothorn is so low. So just gonna click Ice Beam at this point, as it will knock out Zapdos. It will also do a decent amount of Politoed despite resistances, as he chooses to stay in with Zapdos. So Zapdos is going to go down to the Ice Beam. I can definitely HP Fire the Ferrothorn if he chooses to go out to that first. I would definitely go Ferrothorn first before Politoed, as he goes Politoed, but I'm just going to go for Ice Beam again, as he actually tries to switch out into his Ferrothorn, predicting the Fusion Bolt. I'm just going to go for Earth Power in the following turn, just in case he wants to switch out to Kabutops, also knowing it would knock out his Ferrothorn, and I've prevented rocks from my opponent's side of the field. Now Kabutops is going to come out. I'm going to switch directly into my Garchomp, as I can take Stone Edge, I can take some Waterfalls. I also do have Endure, so I will be weakening the Kabutops to the point where, oh wow, he goes for SD. This man's trying to go for game, but I can go for Endure right here, and forcing him to take Life Orb, as well as the Life Orb, the recoil, all that damage, and look how much he has taken this turn. So I'm actually going to try and go for a double Endure, as it does not work out for me, unfortunately, as he is going to be able to go for the Stone Edge in the following turn, and I believe I can just go right out to my Scizor and just click BP at this point. Though this is a rain boosted Waterfall, which will be able to knock me out, a little bit unfortunate for me. I can still win with my Manaphy at this point, so I'm actually just going to sack my Kyurem right now, as I'm just going to go for Roost, just in case he chooses to... I don't even know. He goes for Stone Edge and misses, so maybe I should have went for Ice Beam right there, but I'm going to go for Roost again, just in case he chooses to go for Stone Edge again, and it could potentially miss, and then Rain will be stalled out. But Kabutops is going to go down, as I can now go right out into my my Manaphy and click Energy Ball at this point. I need to weaken his Politoed, that way I can win with my bulk up. Talonflame, as he goes for the Encore, which I do not mind. I don't care if he goes Chestnut right now, because I can hit this thing with the Energy Ball. And well, I can't hit it obviously because of its thing, but I'm gonna go for Energy Ball again, as he I was expecting a double right there, as he goes for Substitute. Is he sub Belly Drum? What is that gonna do to me? Can that even knock out my can that even knock me out? I don't even know. It's definitely faster than me. Am I about to get wrecked by the Pokemon that... Oh man, that's so funny. As it does not even knock me out. That's hilarious. Chestnut is so weak. Holy crap. I'm just going to go right for the Brave Bird. I want to go for Roost, predicting his Politoed, but I'm gonna go for a Brave Bird right here, as Chestnut is gonna go down, and I'm gonna have to go out to my Manaphy right now. He can definitely drop a Draco with his Kingdra. I think I have to go for Tail Glow though. And I have to play off his miss. I have to play off a miss right now, and try and knock him out with the +3 Ice Beam. Energy Ball does the exact same damage, so he does miss the Draco, as I am able to not knock him out, and I still kind of have to play off. You know what? I want to get an extra turn of leftovers, so I'm actually gonna go for Tail Glow. Did he really? And he misses again. Hello? What is he doing? Okay, I definitely didn't deserve this win, guys, but he also choked. His best play was switching directly into Politoed right there, because he needed to get up the rain, which is why I went for Tail Glow again, because I wanted to get enough leftovers to the point where he can't click Specs Hydro Pump to knock me out, or Specs Scald. He had to click Draco Meteor. But, you know, luck was definitely in my favor that game, as we have found another game, whatever. My opponent gets swept by my Bulk Up Talonflame as long as I burn his Landorus. And I'm actually just going to lead off with my Kyurem, because if he wants to lead off with anything that is not Gengar, that would have been nice. But I'm going to go on to my Scizor right here, expecting a Focus Blast. It's going to do a decent amount of damage, definitely. I guess he could burn me as well. Scizor isn't as important in this game, though it can also sweep him. But Manaphy can also do some work, so it really depends on what my opponent wants to do. He goes for Sub. He probably has the Will-O-Wisp, so I'm actually going to switch out into my Talonflame, scouting for that Will-O-Wisp. It is special defensive Talonflame, so it can actually beat his Gengar anyway. I don't want this thing getting burnt. And if he's running sub Will-O-Wisp, he probably has Hex. So what I'm actually going to do is just go right for Brave Bird right here. It will be able to break his sub. If he wants to switch out, even though he's behind his sub, I think that's a fair play, simply because his attack will not do crap to me. As you can see, that Sludge Wave did nothing. And what I am going to do is just go for Will-O-Wisp, expecting him to switch out into Seismitoad or Landorus, both of which I will be very happy if I burn them. I don't expect him to stay in right here as he goes Seismitoad. And what I actually can do is go for Roost, because Scald isn't going to do crap to me anyway. He's probably going to go for the Stealth Rock. He could also go for Knockoff, which would be a little bit annoying, but I can Roost back up to full HP. I am max Def, and I also don't want to go out into my Garchomp on a potential. Potential knockoff, because I want my Garchomp the way it is. But I'm actually going to go out to my Latias right here, because I want to prevent his Stealth Rock from staying up. And the fact that he Toxic me is actually okay, simply because that means I have to switch into Amoonguss at this point. I can dodge Spore, so I'm okay with that. I'm going to go for Defog. He can Toxic me if he wants to, as he switches out into Amoonguss, the counter to Latias. I hope you guys hear the sarcasm in my voice. And I'm just going to click Psyshock, honestly. Like, what is he going to do? He has to double predicting my Talonflame. I could even drop a Draco if I wanted to. I don't know why I went out to Amoonguss, because Amoonguss takes a hell of a lot from this, as he goes for the Foul Play, probably predicting my Talonflame. And what I can do at this point is just drop a Draco on this guy. He has nothing to come in. He could try and switch into a Hydreigon. I really pray he switches out to Hydreigon, predicting my Psyshock, as he does, as I do connect with the Draco Meteor, and Hydreigon is going to go straight down. And the fact that his Seismitoad is Stealth Rock makes me believe, or leads me to believe, that his Garchomp could be Choice Scarf or Dual Dance. If it's Dual Dance, I mean, either way, my best switch-in is the one Pokemon. So Gengar comes out. I'm going to go for Psyshock, because I do not want him to get a sub. Hex will definitely knock me out, not Sludge Wave, but I can definitely break his sub with Psyshock. It will also do a good amount of damage, assuming I hit, or assuming I win a Speed type. As he goes for Sludge Wave, does not knock me out, and at this point, could actually attempt to go for Healing Wish right here. Might as well. You know, if I win that first speed tie, I might as well try and heal up my my Talonflame. Not that it really matters, but it lets me click Brave Bird right after that versus his team, and that's pretty nice for me. So he wins that speed tie right there, as I'm just going to go directly into my Scizor, Mega Evolve to get that extra bulk, and of course just click Bullet Punch. I don't care if he goes out to Seismitoad, I really do not, because the point of this turn is to get the extra bulk with the Mega Evolution, and also to ensure that, oh, he actually ends up going out to Amoonguss, so that's fine by me. That does a lot. Why does that Bullet Punch do so much? Good lord. I'm going to hit him with a U-turn. Why did that Bullet Punch do so much? And this can actually win, so I don't really want to get him burnt, which is why I went out to Talonflame originally. But if he goes for Foul Play, this would be a Lord play on my part. But I think Talonflame is my best switch, no matter what he wants to do, as he goes for Foul Play. That is a critical hit. And I'm actually going to double out into my Manaphy, predicting him to want to go out to Seismitoad. Also, if he decides to stay in, that is also fine. I'm expecting Seismitoad or Landorus to want to come out, and when Manaphy does, it prevents it from setting up Stealth Rock, as Landorus is the Pokemon of choice. And that's good because I can click Ice Beam at this point. If he's Choice Scarf, he will be able to outspeed me. If he's not, I can knock him out with Ice Beam. Ice Beam also knocks out Gengar at the range of HP it's at. He was probably Choice Scarf, as I am able to knock him out with the Ice Beam. So Landorus being gone, really nice. Again, Talonflame is just going to win this game. Lopunny can come out. Lopunny's going to be killing itself with all the recoil it's going to take from Garchomp. As Seismitoad is going to come out, does not suspect Energy Ball. I am going to click it though, and it will be able to OHKO Seismitoad 4 times effective. And Manaphy just putting in work this game. Good lord, I don't like those. I didn't like the Hydreigon switch, but Gengar comes out. I do not care. I can live any hit. I can live a Sludge Wave from a non-life or variant. He's probably bulky too because he's running more than likely Sub, Wisp, Hex, and Sludge Wave. He hasn't shown Hex, but I'm expecting that to be a set. But I can go right for the Scald, knock out the Gengar while living any hit he wants to go for. Yep, he reveals Hex right there. Maybe expecting me to, I don't even know what he's expecting me to switch out into. Maybe my Scizor, but then he could have went for Will-O-Wisp. Of course, that would have been a play. But Gengar is going to go down, and my opponent is going to end up forfeiting. And we're at a good amount of time, so we are at, where are we on the ladder? Definitely didn't deserve to win one of those games. But a lot of forfeits from Kiram Godzilla the Lord. I hope you guys all enjoyed. Feel free to leave a like if you enjoyed, and subscribe if you want. Stay tuned for more Pokemon ORAS content. UCL going up this Friday, 24-hour stream as well. Announcement video going up tomorrow. Please listen to the entire thing. And yeah, guys, until next time, later.